Yeah, I hope everyone's doing all right here. We're back at it again. Wanted to go over a couple more passages, actually paragraphs, from, it's an older book. It goes back 22, 23 years from Sue Patterson. It's called 144,000. And it's very apropos for right now because we have this full moon situation going on. And it has to do, this is very, very, from a religious standpoint, a very technical thing with the wheat and the barley. Not to be mistaken with Christianity, because today we rest in Christ. Christ is our Sabbath. Now, these things that went before, they have the rightful place, but nowadays they are used as ensemble, which is a King James way to say for our admonition, as examples. In other words, they're types, antitypes, types, and shadows, and they speak the remnant message. It's got remnant message written all over it, the types and the shadows, the types and the antitypes, if you understand those terminologies. And it's just a beautiful sequence of language, of the conveyance of thought, of spiritual things. You know, it's like faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So let's get into these two paragraphs, because again, it's very apropos. We got the full moon going on, and no, it's not the rapture. It's not that. No, we're talking about types, shadow types, antitypes, ensembles, examples that are meant for our admonition in a very good way. So let's get into, there's a couple paragraphs that I want to read, and you'll see a lot of the tie-ins. And this is one of those things where this is a very hard to get book, and my finger just did its own walking and landed right there, and it just so happens it's going on right now. So let's get into it. Barley plantings do not have any tares. Now see, that's interesting, because we know what does have the tares is the wheat. Let's go into it more. The barley plant is easily recognizable, and weeds can be easily distinguished from the barley and pulled out. If you compare the 144,000 to the barley as a people, you will find that the remnant can weather adverse circumstances. I like the way that's worded. Wide temperature fluctuations, i.e. wide temperature fluctuations, which is a metaphor. They are resilient and tough. Rough grain. We'll leave it at that. They are very kind of rough around the edges, rough grain. You got it. You got it. They can take long periods of no fellowship, in parentheses, drought. They have the truth and, as many cannot stand their preaching or teaching. Oh, no, say it isn't so. As many cannot stand their preaching or teaching, they are ostracized by the contemporary church, in parentheses, high in nutrition and not easily digestible. Somewhat of a dichotomy there. Kind of like John was told to take the book and eat it. And it will be honey in your mouth, but bitter in the stomach. Which is interesting. Very, very interesting. There's a lot of tie-ins and parallels to all of this. On the other hand, wheat is a smooth grain, not rough, because these two grain principles, either in ritualistic applicability or application, or by themselves, they carry a lot of dissemination and meaning to them. There's a reason why they go into the full picture of what used to be ritualistic, but is now used for ensembles as examples for our admonition. On the other hand, wheat is a smooth grain, not rough. It cannot take wide temperature fluctuations. Interesting. It cannot survive drought. Interesting. That is true. I come from Indiana. In Indiana, we grow corn, soybeans, or wheat. I know about the drought stuff. What happens anyway. And tares can be disguised as the wheat, just like the Lord said that he was talking about in his parable. When compared to the church as a people, you will find that they are not tough, smooth skin, in parentheses, they have smooth skin. They buckle under adverse conditions, in parentheses, temperature fluctuations, for as an example, and cannot stand long periods of no fellowship, in parentheses, drought, and have tares, in parentheses, apostate, i.e. apostate Christians, disguised as Christians right alongside them. So that's all we're going to go into. Very, very poignant illustrations of what you would normally take as common everyday grains, but they factor into a lot of the ritualistic rendering of many, many, many years ago, but now they're used as examples, allegorically applied metaphors for our admonition, our learning. It's like 2 Timothy 3:16, where all these things are given to us as believers so that we can be educated and experience knowledgeable wisdom and all of those good things. It's all for us. It's built into the infrastructure of nature, and that's the most amazing thing of all. Hope this edified you, at least a little bit. Go back and I'm trying to get these books. It's not easy. I've been waiting on a shipment of them, and I want to pass them out. I've had this book for over 2 decades now, and every once in a while I'll go back to it, and it's just really, really good stuff. Your heritage, what I'm saying right now is this. Your heritage, your born-again Israel heritage, as a remnant of who? A remnant of Israel, is so rich with metaphor, with allegory, with types and shadows, types and antitypes, that just increase our faith. Again, leave you with this thought. Faith is a substance of things hoped for. The evidence of things not seen. Love you guys, and we'll talk soon. This is good stuff.